Alright, greetings all. I was just setting to do a string change for a coworker, Lewis, who brought in this old Fender Squier. It's a 93, and it's been around the family for a minute. You can see someone put masking tape on there for some finger markings, string markings. And just wanted to do a before and after. I told him I was going to do this. He brought it to me, asked me if I could throw some strings on it for him. And it's got 4 of 6 strings on here. And there's the badging inside. But she's been around the horn a minute. It needs good cleaning. So I just wanted to see if I could do a before and after on this string change. She said he didn't care what strings went on it, but I care. It's just my way. I was gonna do, back up. I was gonna do a set of Ernie Ball Earthwoods, Rock and Blues, a 10 to 52, and I thought better of it, because it's not what I wanted to do for them. Where did I put the other strings? Hang on just a second, let me grab those. Oh, they're right here under my elbow. I'm going to go with what I use. 10 to 50 bright string joys. And there's a considerable price difference. There's a difference between $6 here and $15 here. But in my estimation, it's well worth it. We're going to go 10, 14, 20 wound, 28, 38, 50. As opposed to 10, 13, 17, 30, 42, and 52. It's going to be easier on the fingers, and it's going to be a lot chimier for him, and I think he'll get a lot longer life out of them. Not that there's anything wrong with Earthwoods. I like them. I cut my teeth on them. But everything I do in my fleet is string joy. So we're going to go with that. We'll be right back. Okay, so just a brief go through here. We've got some divots in the first fret. I got all the residue off of here from the tape. I didn't polish up the head yet, or polish up here, but you can see there's a lot of grit on the frets, which is normal. But what I did was I came down here. I started down here. This is now conditioned, and you can see that I polished those frets. Now, the way I did that, 4-step process. We have these fret erasers from Baroque. This is 1000 grit. This is stage 3. First one is 180 grit, and I do 8 passes on each fret. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just back and forth, mild pressure. So 180. Then I go to 400, do the same thing, 8 passes, and then I do it the third time with 1000. And then I'll grab a sheet of this Dunlop 8000. And this was clean when I started down here on the bottom. It was this gray color. And from polishing those bottom frets just below the bout, we've done that to it. So it's a process. If you're gonna take care of your guitar and keep your frets polished and keep your strings moving freely on the fretboard, you take the time. Mild investment, I mean, very little investment really to do that. It's sweat equity, sure. And then once I cleaned all that off and got them polished up, F1 oil, Music Nomad, can't beat it, best thing in town. Use it on everything. So, all right, I'll come back when it's done. All right, I did the fret polishing process and wiped it off, and it came time to do the oil. And I've seen many different ways of doing this, and I've watched guys saturate their fretboard in oil. You don't need to. I go based on surface area fret 1 and 2 are bigger frets, so you know, 2 drops. I do 1 drop each on the rest of them, and then just you can rub it in with your finger, however you want to do. Just smooth it all in. I'll back up a little bit, sorry. Smooth it all in. Get all your nooks and crannies filled in up against the frets, in between the frets. And then you take your cloth and just wipe it down. You don't need to leave it on for 10 minutes. You don't need to leave it on for 30 minutes. You don't need to use a half a bottle. Just a couple drops. Usually a drop per, I just, like I said, I just use 1 drop per fret. Rub it in, and wipe it off, and you are good until your next string change. And we'll pause again. All right, so we got her strung up, and I wasn't happy when I pulled the bridge pins out. They were rather brittle plastic, chewed up pretty good, so I replaced those and also cleaned the rest of the body of the guitar. And just a little bit anal of me, but my string ends, when I get done up here, I always couch them or pocket them, whatever you want to call it. I don't care how expensive or inexpensive the guitar is. I hate getting jabbed, so I always twist them at the end like that, just to avoid getting, like I said, stabbed to death. So, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and check it out, see how she sounds. All right, let's give her a little test here, see how she sounds. Okay, so one last thing I wanted to show you. Well, let's keep the guitar out of the way, I guess, for a second. I want to show you something else. This is a clean rag. This is how they come out of the package. Shiny and new, right? Now, this is what I just did to a brand new one on this guitar. If you can pick it up or not. It's nasty. Hang on a second. Let me lay them side by side here. I'll take the top down for you. Let me flip this camera around. This was new. Like this one. So, take care of your guitars. Clean them up. I know Lewis hasn't had this out in forever. He dug it out and pulled it out and brought it in. So, but she sounds good. Strings sound nice and bright. It's chimey. So, this shows what you can do with an inexpensive guitar, and you can make it sound a lot more expensive just by polishing some frets, keeping it properly maintained, set your action height just right, change strings to give you a different tone, change pins that need to be changed, and you're good to go. You'll sound a lot more, it'll make it sound more like a $400 or $500 guitar instead of the $200 guitar or $150 guitar, whatever it is. So there you go. It can be done. Talk to you later.